Can Pinnacle Emissary bring Affinity back to Modern by creating some of the craziest turn ones ever? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we are heading to Modern to play a super classic Modern archetype, an archetype that has been in Modern since the very beginning of the format, but it's an archetype that also got a ridiculously huge upgrade in Edge of Eternities. We are playing some Affinity, but this is Pinnacle Emissary Affinity, and this deck is pretty wild, so let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, jump into a league, see the deck in action. So as I mentioned, our big build around here is Pinnacle Emissary, our new Edge of Eternities addition to the deck. So Pinnacle Emissary, it's a 3-mana, 3/3 artifact robot. Most importantly, it says when we cast an artifact spell, we get a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying that can only block flyers. And then also important, we can warp it for a single mana. So why is Pinnacle Emissary so ridiculous in this deck? And the answer is, if you look at our deck, we have 21 different free artifacts that we can play on turn 1. So the real goal of this deck is on turn 1 warp a Pinnacle Emissary, and then followed up by playing a Mox Opal, a free artifact that makes mana, Mishra's Bauble, a free artifact that'll draw us a card, Tormod Script, a free artifact that hits on graveyards, Ornithopter's Memnites, free artifacts that are creatures. Springleaf Drum, I know technically costs a mana, but since we can tap a creature to make a mana, as long as we have any creature on the battlefield, it's actually a free spell. We just spend one, but we get the one back right away. So the idea of this deck is turn 1 we warp Pinnacle Emissary, and then hopefully play 2, 3, 4 0-mana artifacts, and all of a sudden on turn 1, we have a ton of artifacts on the battlefield. We're gonna have a bunch of drone tokens, we're gonna have all the artifacts we cast, and I hear you wondering, okay, is it really that good? Like, sure, turn 1, you Pinnacle Emissary, you make 3 1/1 flyers, you get a few random 0-mana artifacts. Is that actually going to win you the game of Modern? And the answer is no. Most of the time, the drones themselves are not going to attack and kill our opponent, but the drones are super powerful because they turn on our big finishers in our card draw effect. So if you look at the rest of our deck, we have Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, these affinity for artifact cards that draw us a ton of cards for 1 mana. The real power of Pinnacle Emissary is why it's on the battlefield. Every artifact we cast is actually 2 artifacts, which just makes it an absurd way to get a ton of artifacts on the battlefield for affinity to artifacts, for improvise on Metallic Rebuke, our counter spell, and also for our finisher. So when it comes to actually killing our opponent super quick, it's not the drones that actually do the damage. The drones let us improvise out a Kappa Cannoneer, this 6-mana 4/4, but we can tap artifacts to pay for it thanks to improvise, so really it's like a 1-mana 4/4 if we make a bunch of drones. It has Ward of 4, which means if we get this down early, it's essentially impossible to kill, and even better, when an artifact enters, it gets +1/+1 counter, and it becomes unblockable. So this is just an incredibly fast clock that is also really hard to deal with. Our other finisher is a classic, Cranial Plating, a card that has pretty much been cut from Affinity decks in Modern, but thanks to its synergy with the drones, it is back, and it's arguably better than it's ever been. We can just make a bunch of drones, put a plating on it, it pumps equal to the number of artifacts we control, and all of a sudden those drones are hitting for 6 instead of just for 1. The rest of the deck, a couple more equipment, Lava Spur Boots for haste, Shadow Sphere for some life gain, and these cards also work well with Urza Saga. We still got Urza Saga in the mana base to make big constructs, to tutor up artifacts. The rest of the mana base, only 15 total lands in the deck, but thanks to Springleaf Drum and Mox Opal, we actually have way more sources of mana than just our lands. But the rest of the mana base, mana fixing, an Atwara in case we need to bounce something, a couple of islands in the sideboard, a couple of more artifacts in Welding Jar, Pithing Needle, Dismember Whip Flare for removal, a couple of counters, Blood Moon to deal with the Amulet Titan decks, the Tron decks, the Eldrazi decks, and that is Pinnacle Affinity for Modern. And that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how ridiculous of a turn 1 we can have in Modern with Pinnacle Emissary and friends. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some Modern this week, and we're playing some Affinity. We have the Pinnacle Emissary, but man, this hand's so clunky. I think we actually mulligan. All right, I mean, this I guess we keep. Put a Thoughtcast to the bottom. Not the Dream Draw, though we do get to kind of dump our hand. It just doesn't do much. So Urza Saga. into Springleaf Drum, Tormod's Crypt, Ornithopter. In theory, next turn we get to Thoughtcast. Found it. Mycosynth Gardens, and oh god, Amulet Titan, eh? All right. Well, that is scary. We take up the Urza Saga. We draw another Urza Saga. Now play the Urza Saga. I mean, I guess we actually just start making constructs. Yeah, let's make a construct. But they're gonna have double Amulet off this Mycosynth Gardens, which is super scary. Crumbling Vestige. Found it. Untaps it. Essentially Ancient Tomb. In Modern, 2 mana, only 1 turn, but still. 1-shot Ancient Tomb, still kind of busted. Copies the Amulet. We draw an Ornithopter. Well, 1, 2, make a construct. We lose the Urza Saga. Take a Mox Opal. Thoughtcast. All right, play Mishra's Bauble. Play Mishra's Bauble. Play an Ornithopter. Smack it for 9. I mean, this is what we got, but I don't think this beats 2 Amulets. It's a good start. It's not bad. It's not the Pinnacle Emissary start, but I don't think this beats double Amulet. Found it. Taps untaps. Picks up the land. Atwara. Gonna bounce a construct. Can we win somehow this turn? We draw an Urza Saga. Well, float a mana. Grab a Shadow Sphere. Play an Urza Saga. Well, I think we have Xaxes. 5, 6. So play the Cannoneer. Equip the Shadow Sphere. And that gets us to exactly 11. Wow. Okay. That was pretty good. I don't know how we didn't die there, but now we get to bring in Blood Moons. And Blood Moon is pretty good if we can get it down fast enough. So Blood Moon's in. Nothing else really matters, does it? Consign to Memory, we're going to be on the draw, so it's going to be too slow. What do we cut? Well, that is not really the plan of the deck. We want to be doing Pinnacle Emissary things, but we'll take it. We're not going to complain. Maybe go down like 1 Thoughtcast, 1 Metallic Rebuke. Actually, you know what? Maybe go down. Well, how good is Rebuke? It might be fine. Let's try it like that. Blood Moon's in. Do a little trimming. We're going to be on the draw. The real pop-off potential is Pinnacle Emissary. That's the card. I mean, we're going to keep this. We're going to keep it. It would be nice if we had just a colored source of mana instead of this Urza Saga. Then we could have a ridiculous Pinnacle Emissary turn opponent. Mycosynth Gardens and Amulet. Sure. Opponent passes. We draw Lava Spur Boots. Well, play Urza Saga. Play a Springleaf Drum. Yeah, I think we just pass and see what happens. In theory, we can Blood Moon next turn. All right, opponent passes. We draw Thoughtcast, so we take up the Saga. Well, let's play an Ornithopter. Play a Mox Opal. And yeah, we're going to Blood Moon. 1, 2, and 3. Get down the Blood Moon. Boseiju. All right. Well, we get a Steam Vents. Tapped. Well, that was our big plan. Found it. Gonna copy the Amulet. There's the Bounce Land. All right. Taps and untaps. Here they come. Yeah, we could have had a big Pinnacle Emissary turn last turn, but we needed the Blood Moon more. Opponent gonna get an Abrew Grazer. Gonna play the Abrew Grazer. All right, so this is gonna get them to Titan mana. Yeah, we might just be dead. Well, we had the draw we wanted. Not exactly. It would have been better if we could have Pinnacle Emissary turn 1, but we had a quick Blood Moon, a quick enough Blood Moon to shut down our opponent's game plan. But they had the right answers. They had the Amulet, they had the Boseiju, and they had the Primeval Titan. And I imagine this is just game. Opponent, Lotus Field, Mirror Pool, gonna untap him. Yeah, so I can copy Primeval Titan. The only thing I'm thinking is there's some world where when it's all said and done, we could draw into a Blood Moon and make them die to their pact. That would be the one thing that seems like sort of possible if our opponent gets a little too greedy here. Well, so far we have not gotten to see the power of Pinnacle Emissary. has just not lined up. The Urza Saga, man, this hand we would have had like so much power on turn one. Opponent, Echoing Depths to copy the Mirror Pool. All right, I mean, they're still going. Opponent taps and untaps, taps and untaps. Like I said, the only reason we're staying in this is the like 1 in a million possibility that a Blood Moon could get them with the Pact. Opponent gets another Primeval Titan. I mean, there's no way we're winning this game fairly. That's not happening. Opponent gets a Teleria West, and I assume that does it. Well, we'll see what they tutor up. I mean, we've sat through all this. We might as well sit through the rest of it. Opponent taps and untaps, taps and untaps, picks it up. Sacks some lands. Infinite mana, sacks some lands. Teleria West. To get a Summoner's Pack. Summoner Aftermath Analyst. Gonna get back all the lands. Okay, can we call this good now? This has got to be good. Gets back all the lands. They all untap. They have a Summoners. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, there's no way we're winning this. Good enough, opponent. Good enough. Well, on to game 3. On to game 3. There's nothing to change. We did our job. Our opponent just had the answer. Well, so what do we have that's relevant here? The Blood Moons. In theory, we could just be faster than our opponent. This hand has a Blood Moon, but has 0 lands. Pinnacle Emissary, but we can't even cast it. Yeah, got them all again. All right. This also has 0 lands. Sure. Well, this hand kind of sucks. But we're at 5, so we got to keep it. Shadowsphere goes bottom, and I guess Kappa Cannoneer. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Spire Bluff go. Oh, this looks like this hand couldn't win in standard. This hand probably would not win a draft, honestly. Opponent, of course, has the Amulet because they never do not have the Amulet. Opponent passes, we will draw an island. Well, play that past the turn. Yeah, we are going to lose this without doing anything. Opponent, bounce land. Gonna untap it, thanks to the Amulet. All right, so we basically just have to top deck Blood Moon this turn. That is, there's a Splunking. That's a game. 3 out of 54. 3 out of 54. If we top deck a Blood Moon this turn, we have a shot. If we do not top deck Blood Moon this turn, the game is almost 1,000,000% over. Opponent explores. I mean, the Splunking does kind of make their Amulet worse. Our deck does not have the ability to deal with Amulet. Opponent passes. Well, Blood Moon. Come on, deck. Oh my god, that is a Blood Moon. All right. The game will continue. The game will continue. There's a Blood Moon. All right, pass the turn. Opponent has a basic forest and another Splunking. Sure. Come on, deck. Well, all right. How about a Pinnacle Emissary? Opponent explores. Crumbling Vestige. Another Amulet. And passing. We need some artifacts. Metallic Rebuke. That does not seem great. Well, get in for 3. All right, down to 17. Opponent untaps, because they're going to drop a Seiju eventually. Or they're just going to find a way to hardcast stuff through it. Artifact. All right, there's a Mox Opal. That is an artifact. That makes another artifact. Go to combat. Hit ya. And I think we actually just Thought Monitor. We could leave up the Metallic Rebuke, but I don't think Metallic Rebuke's going to be able to stop anything anyway. All right, pass the turn. Hold. No Beseijus. Opponent, think it, pass it. Okay. Well, let's play a Springleaf Drum. Actually, no. Let's warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Springleaf Drum. Make 2 artifacts. This is the power of Pinnacle Emissary. Tap a Pinnacle Emissary. Thought Monitor. We could draw another Blood Moon. Make a couple or a Cranial Plating just wins, I think. Thought Monitor. Thought Cast. Memnite. Make a couple artifacts. Steam Vents. Combat. Hit ya. All right, we have lethal next turn. Is there a next turn? We pick up our dork. We have 1,000,000 drones. Opponent untaps. Do they top deck an answer to the Blood Moon to win the game? We're about to find out. Opponent scoops it up, and this matchup is so scary. But we finally got to see the hype about the Pinnacle Emissary, and this was not even it being fully powered. This was not Pinnacle Emissary doing the turn 1 4 power on the battlefield, or like just the absolutely obscene starts it can get. This was like a pretty late Pinnacle Emissary, but we still eventually got to see the pop-off power of the Pinnacle Emissary. Huh. And we beat Amulet Titan, a deck that we almost never beat. Blood Moon. Even in 2025, our friend Blood Moon still getting it done. This hand is not super busted, nor does it have a Pinnacle Emissary. Oh, this hand does not even have a single source of mana. All right, well, going to 5. All right, we will keep. This hand is pretty mid. So Thought Monitor bottom and Saga to the bottom, I guess. Opponent, tap land, and pass it. We draw. Cap a Cannoneer. Well, land and go. I don't even think we bothered around the Ornithopter. And Wall. Okay, so opponent's definitely a Blink deck. Wall of Omens. That's some old school Blink targets. I haven't seen Wall of Omens in a minute. Well, let's play an Urza Saga. Let's play an Ornithopter. We really need an untapped land or a free artifact next turn if we want to activate the Saga. White Orchid Phantom. We are just going to Metallic Rebuke that. Little early for those shenanigans. Bout it. Tap land. Oh, this might be like Bant Soul Herder. Well, okay. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Not a big clunky thing. Springleaf Drum. I think that actually works. So we can play Springleaf Drum, play Mox Opal, pass the turn. So at least we get to make a Construct. And then next turn we can Thoughtcast or Cop a Cannoneer. Opponent. Ooh, Birthing Ritual. Okay, that is scary. Oh no. Yeah, this could go very badly. Wow, this opponent's got all the colors. Overgrown Tomb. Another Birthing Ritual. Sacks a Wall of Omens. Gets an Eternal Witness to get back the Adventurer. And then double Birthing Ritual is kind of wild. Sacks the Eternal Witness. Gets a Witch Enchanter. Well, in response, we will... No, not like that. This is bad for us, definitely. We will 1, 2, make a Construct. We draw a Mishra's Bauble. We gotta go. We gotta try to kill him, don't we? Play the Bauble. We can play the Cannoneer, but we'd have to tap everything. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Is it? We could also attack for 5. We could attack for 5 and Thoughtcast. Yeah, let's Thoughtcast. Play a Memnite. Play a Bauble. Springleaf Drum, tap. 1. Actually, that's a silly way of doing it. Mox Opal, tap. 5. All right, I guess this is the best of both worlds. We get down the Cannoneer, and we get to smash you with the Construct. Are we taking 8? We are out of cards, and our opponent still has double Birthing Ritual going. So we are still not safe by any means, especially if they can start blinking this Witch Enchanter. Although, getting down the Cannoneer is pretty huge, because the Ward 4 is going to make it tough for our opponent to deal with. Are they actually going to get rid of the Cannoneer? Okay, they're going to have to go after the Construct, and they have an Ephemerate, so they're going to blink it. Going to get rid of the Ornithopter. Oh boy. And now they get to go to their end step and do Birthing Ritual stuff and play another Wall of Omens. I mean, opponent deck looks like a kind of deck I would enjoy playing. Opponent, I'm going to sack a Solitude to get another Solitude to get rid of the Memnite. All right, we untap. We need an artifact. But we have to tap the Cannoneer. That's so awkward. I think we got to do it, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Cap a Cannoneer Part 2. This is what we got. So our hope is we just draw a cheaper artifact, make these Cannoneers unblockable, and win the game by attacking. That's the goal. Opponent. Ephemerate. So I guess they can Ephemerate the Solitude to get rid of a Cannoneer, but they're going to have to pay all of their mana. All right, opponent's going to pay. So there goes a Cannoneer. Passing. Birthing Rituals. I mean, considering we're on the Mold of 5, I feel like we're putting up a pretty good fight against this endless value deck that's drawing all their Ephemerates. Double Birthing Ritual. Gonna sack a Witch Enchanter to get a Quantum Riddler, draw a card. Gonna sack a Wall of Omens. Get a Thalia. Passes. We draw. Tormod's Crypt. Well, that is a cheap artifact. So we can play a Tormod's Crypt. Make the Kappa Cannoneer unblockable. Get in and hit you. Not enough, though. Not enough. We hit our opponent to 3, but our opponent can blink the Solitude, right? They can blink the Solitude, pay the ward, and then I think they pretty much have it once they deal with this Cannoneer. I know they're at 3, and we're at 1,000,000, but in the grand scheme of things, there's no way we're going to get in 3 points of damage. We're essentially just locked. We're locked out of this game and we don't have direct damage. So I think we're going to be going to game 2 here very shortly because they can just do this every turn and we do not have a way to stop them from doing it. And we don't have a way to like haste in 3 damage. Like we're going to need stuff on the battlefield and we're going to have to sack our artifacts. Opponent gets another Quantum Riddler. Draws more cards. I mean, opponent's popping off. It's cool to see a value-y deck like this doing so well. It's looking good at the moment. Birthing Ritual, I mean, as long as you got your MH3 cards, you can do anything. Opponent gonna go after the Mox Opal. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna crack the baubles. Severance, wow, Severance Priest, okay. Sure, we will look at the card. Might as well look at the top of our deck. What are we drawing? Metallic Rebuke, yeah, all right. I mean, we'll draw the cards and then we're gonna scoop. There's no getting back into it from this point. We need just a faster... We need to not mold a 5. All right. Yep, bunch of Metallic Rebukes. And you got us. How do we stop this? So Tormod's Crypt we don't want. The Metallic Rebukes seem like they could be okay. The Dismembers seem okay. Pithing Needle doesn't actually stop Birthing Ritual. Yeah, let's just run it like that. I mean, if we get off to a fast start, I feel like we can just overwhelm them. We just need to, I mean, that hand was so clunky when it was all said and done. We need a good Pinnacle Emissary hand. We haven't really had one yet. I feel like whenever I play against this deck, my opponent just goes like, oh, mulligan, Pinnacle Emissary, 0, 0, 0, 0. I got 7 power on turn 1. Go. We have not done that yet. We have not had... The one like turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary hand we kind of had access to. We had our Urza Saga as our only land, so we couldn't even play it. So we just haven't had the Pinnacle Emissary pop off yet. And that is the reason to play the deck. Like that is the hot new card. So land Ornithopter, and then we're done. Like we have the Thought Casts and such. We can't cast them though. Yeah, I think we mulligan it. Oh boy. Well, that is a lot of Mox Opals. All right, going to 5. Maybe this deck just mulligans into Oblivion and does nothing. Dismember to the bottom. Thought Monitor to the bottom. All right, here we go. Spire Bluff hand. How about a Springleaf Drum? Go. We cannot get away from the curse of the Mold to 5. This is not what we wanted against this deck, because I feel like once it gets going, they're going to have such a big advantage, which is what we saw. Well, there's a Pinnacle Emissary. Man, a turn too late. Steam Vents. Untapped. Warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Play an Ornithopter. Make a Dork. Tap the Pinnacle Emissary. Thoughtcast. Well, go. Oh no. And they can play the Birthing Ritual. We can't stop it because we're tapped out. Ah, jeez. All right, after all that, we have a drone. And we started working on undoing our Mold of 5. Found it. Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Pass it. Let's play a Twara. Play the Pinnacle Emissary. Mamnite. Make a Dork. I mean, this isn't the worst. We get to chip in for 1 with the Drode, and we get to leave up the Metallic Rebuke. Next turn, we can get down the Kappa Cannoneer, and then see what happens. Phalia. Yeah, I think we let that go. Phalia is very good, but without anything else on the battlefield, it doesn't do much. Pitching a Phalia. Well, I think we just counter that. Metallic Rebuke. We don't want our opponent to start blinking that. That would be less than ideal. As we saw in game 1, where we essentially got hard locked, it would have been nice to save it for a Birthing Ritual, but Solitude, I think, is good enough. Especially if it was just a one-shot, that'd be fine. But against the Blink deck, we gotta expect that they're gonna have a way to keep it on the battlefield. Well, here's the Birthing Ritual. Yup. And a tap land, and opponent going to pass. All right, opponent's going to sack. Gets a Severance Priest, which kind of whiffs. Well, play a Mem Knight. Kappa Cannoneer. I mean, this is what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, we're going to swing with everything. If our opponent wants to trade with the Pinnacle Emissary, that's fine. Opponent's just going to block a Mem Knight. Sure. Drops to 11. All right, let's see what happens. Opponent adapts. I mean, this is pretty good turn 4. Again, starting with the Mulda 5. All Fate's Stalker. Gonna go after a token. It is a pretty cute synergy. You can warp it and then sack it to the Birthing Ritual. We just need to draw an artifact. Literally any artifact to make this Cannoneer unblockable. Card draw would be the best, but all right, Birthing Ritual. Gonna sack the All Fate Stalker. Opponent gets a Solitude. Gonna go after the Pinnacle Emissary. All right, deck. Be good to us for once. Opponent passes. Thought Monitor is very good. That is about the best draw. Let's Thought Monitor. Trigger the Cannoneer. Draw. This might give us lethal, actually, depending on what we hit. 2 lands. All right, just kidding. So much for the lethal thing. Well, we get to hit you down to 2. Play an Urza's Saga, which, if we're going to draw 2 lands there, at least one of them does something eventually. It would have been nice if we just went artifact, win the game. That would have been ideal. Opponent, tap land. Hopefully we still have enough, though. Worst case, the Urza Saga makes an artifact. Ooh, just kidding. Opponent. Going to blow it up. Well, okay. We'll take an island. So now we need to draw an artifact again, I think. Opponent. Birthing Ritual. I mean, maybe we can just get there with the flyers. If we draw an artifact, we win for sure with the Cannoneer. If we don't draw an artifact, we might win with the flyers. Maybe. I mean, it looks pretty lethal. Opponent gonna sack the Solitude. Quantum Riddler. All right, now they have 2 flyers, draws a card. All right, deck, just an artifact, not another land. Metallic Rebuke. Well, go to combat. Get in with the flyers. Hopefully this is still enough, especially with counter backup. Attack with the flyers. Opponent blocks. Opponent blocks. And we got there. Okay. Whew. All right, even with the Mulda 5, we got the job done. Do you think Whip Flare's worth it? Nah, they have such big things. Yeah, let's just run it back. This is very different. It reminds me, our opponent's deck reminds me a little bit of the Flibbleflip deck we played a while ago, except it's really changed thanks to the warp stuff from Edge of Eternities, where our opponent's deck is just going way bigger now. We're going to keep this. We're going to keep it. It would be nice if we had another 0-mana artifact. Then we could really see Pinnacle Emissary do its thing. Mox? Well, Bobble. All right. Well, let's play a Spire Bluff Canal. Let's warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Well, let's play an Ornithopter. Make a 1/1. Play a Mishra's Bobble. Make a 1/1. And pass the turn. And this should let us turn to Kappa Cannoneer. Gonna grab the Portico. And that's the power of turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary. Like, that is it. You just get so many artifacts on the battlefield so quickly. Opponent Windswept Teeth and pass it. Well, I mean, we're going to go for it. Spire Bluff Canal. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get down the Cannoneer. Opponent, going to crack the Windswept Teeth. This does mean no counter this turn. Opponent leaves it on top with the Archive. Plays the Windswept Teeth. Cracks the Windswept Teeth. Clarion Conquer. All right, we weren't planning on activating abilities anyway. Well, play the Urza Saga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2. I think we just play the Thought Monitor. Trigger the Cannoneer to draw a couple cards. Play an Ornithopter. Hit you with the Cannoneer for 7. And I mean, hopefully we just win the game next turn. Opponent down to 10. I mean, we can counter something this turn. Make Cannoneer unblockable, swing out. That's the plan. That's all you really, like, that's the power of Pinnacle Emissary, right? It's really, all you really need is that one turn. It's great when it sticks around forever, but all you really need is that one early turn of adding like 3 or 4 artifacts to the battlefield, and that just turbo turns on all the affinity synergies. I mean, I guess Clarion Conquer is shutting down the Bobble, so there is something we would have activated. So not literally nothing, but it's actually not that good. Opponent going to Solitude. Well, we're actually going to 1, 2, 3. So we can't actually counter it, but this makes it so our opponent can't Solitude the Kappa Cannoneer because they can't pay for the ward. And that's the thing that is hopefully making them die next turn. Going to pay, sure. I mean, this is fine. All he wants a Kappa Cannoneer. That's all we actually care about. Opponent, Solitude. I assume he has sniped the Thought Monitor. Yup. All right, Thought Monitor down. Opponent cracks. And then what? Ephemerate Solitude? All right. Is this enough? I don't think so. Because our opponent had to crack a fetch, so they're down to 9. So I think our artifacts just get there. Man, Affinity's so wild now. Opponent passes. A Thought Cast. Play the Bobble. Make it unblockable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thought Monitor? Trigger the Kappa Cannoneer, and I think that, yep, that's the one that does it. And opponent, deck looks sweet with the warp stuff. I've actually been thinking about playing the warp deck just because it looks really cool and I like blink decks, but the Pinnacle Emissary, just too good to pass up. Well, we're going to play some cards. Ornithopter, Memnite, Mox Opal, Tormod's Crypt, Island, Thoughtcast, Memnite. All right. That's it. That's all we got. Opponent planes and passing. This cranial plating's kind of good here. Hopefully, should be. Steam Vents untapped. Cranial plating, Springleaf Drum, and equip the plating to the Ornithopter. And do just a little attacking. Just a little off the top. Get him for 8 on turn 2. We have removal. You really got to kill the plating, although killing the Ornithopter is kind of like a fog. Okay, it actually has the answer. March of Otherworldly Light to get rid of the plating. Well, now we need to draw some card draw. We have a lot of artifacts. Sadly, Pinnacle Emissary is not that great of a draw now because we have dumped our hand. Spybluff Canal. Well, I feel like we're walking into a failure, but I think we can't just do nothing, so we're going to attack. Opponent untaps. Field of Ruin. Opponent, they got their land destruction, that's for sure. Well, Bobble. Opponent's going to Field of Ruin. We do have another basic, only one, unfortunately. Well, play the Bobble. Go to combat, get in for 2. Hit ya. Down to 50. We're doing this on slow mode. Pass the turn. And yeah, let's see what they're drawing. Crack the Bobble. Reprieve. All right, I guess that's good to know about. I don't know what's happening, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. Temporary lockdown. Well, we are going to play a Spirebluff Canal and run out a Pinnacle Emissary. Yeah, that is a wow. I was not expecting that. Is our opponent like mono white control? White Orchid Phantom, and now we get land destructed. We don't have anything to tutor up. Yeah, opponent's like mono white prison or something. That temporary lockdown's insane. There's not even any point in playing the Urza Saga. They just blow it up. All right, pass the turn. Well, get in for 3, then pass the turn. There's a Thought Monitor that would have been so good before this temporary lockdown came down. Now it is very sad. Opponent, Crucible of Worlds to get back Field of Ruins from the graveyard. Well, I mean, we see what our opponent's trying to do. We will just refuse to play lands forever. Can we draw something castable? Memnite. Well, okay, Memnite. Make a 1/1. Technically 2 1/1s. Get in and hit ya. I mean, if we draw one more 0-mana artifact, we can actually play the Thought Monitor, which would be nice. Yeah, it's over. Yeah. We can't. Well, all right. We're gonna stick it out. Maybe we win with 0 lands, but we do have 0 lands now. We have been strip mine locked. Okay, Path Exile, and that'll do it. All right. Well, I don't know what just happened, but we got pretty got, and we do not have answers to any of this. Oh. All right, so opponent's like mono white land destruction prison. I guess all we can bring in is the counters. So we have some chance of stopping something like temporary lockdown. Shadow Sphere doesn't seem like it does much. I mean, if we just get a fast start, though, how are they going to realistically stop it? Yeah, we're going to mulligan. All right, we'll try this, although Not exactly what we were hoping for. I think we put the Thought Monitor to the bottom for now. Sadly, we have one of our 2 basics in hand, which is actually, and our opponent knows how many we have, so that is actually really bad news for us. That means we can only overcome a single strip mine. All right, Lander's Earman Artifact, Springleaf Drum, that doesn't exactly count. All right, well, Springleaf Drum, get in for 1. Next turn, we can try to Thoughtcast if all of our stuff's still there. Opponent, Field of Ruin. We draw a Metallic Rebuke. Well, that's Thoughtcast. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oy, 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 oy. Okay. Kappa Cannoneer and a Thought Monitor for the most expensive hand of all time. There is a temporary lockdown, and yeah, this one looks over to me. We'll see what we draw. Steam Vents. Yeah, our opponent seems very prepared for this matchup. They might have built this deck specifically to be on Affinity. Main deck temporary lockdowns. They know we only have 2 basic lands. Our opponent might actually just be teching specifically to beat our... Wow. I mean, this hand is also not working out at the moment. I mean, I feel like this deck, it's very explosive. Incredibly explosive, which gives me hope that it's going to be good, but also very disruptible. Like the super fast starts, maybe it doesn't matter, but I mean, I'm pretty close to just scooping this one. I don't think there's any coming back in this game at this point with this hand. Found it. Yeah, temporary lockdown is obscene against. Yeah. All right, another Cannoneer, and fair enough. Doesn't have a payoff. Got a lot of cheap artifacts, which is nice. No Pinnacle Emissary and everything, though. We're going to mulligan. All right, this has a Pinnacle Emissary. We will keep. We will put I guess a Spire Bluff. All right, let's see what our opponent's up to. Oh, no. Don't Thought Seize us. Oh, this hand is so much worse now. All right. Well, there goes the Pinnacle Emissary. Yeah, that makes our life way worse. Well, play the Bobble, play the Ornithopter. Sadly, not making a bunch of 1/1s. That is what we get for losing the die roll opponent. The Metallic Rebuke's not even that good because they know about it now. Mills Abrade, so they're just playing like a fairy deck, I guess. Well, we're going to crack this Bobble. Draw a card, see if we can rebuild. Opponent has a Graveyard Trespasser on top. Play the Urza Saga. Play the Mox Opal. We need a land or a Zierman Artifact to, opponent's going to Fatal Push. All right. I mean, I guess we got to draw land. Opponent kills the Ornithopter for some reason. Untaps. Passing. All right. Land. Ornithopter. Oh, all right. Well, play the Ornithopter. This Urza Saga is going to go almost completely to waste, which is not good. It is actually going to go literally completely to waste. I mean, we're going to tutor something off of it, which I guess is something, but going to Fatal Push. Cling to Dust the Bobble. Okay. Trying to find their lands. Untaps. That Fatal Push actually got us. The Ornithopter would have turned it on, but yeah, opponent passes. Well, we go. Oh, there's the land. I guess a Springleaf Drum. Play a Spire Bluff. I mean, I guess we play the Kappa Cannoneer. I think it's going to get countered. I'm not sure what else we do here, so Kappa Cannoneer? Opponent. Counter spell. Sure. All right. The control game's working for our opponent. Untaps. And Drown in the Lock to kill the Ornithopter. And gonna crack the Marsh Flats to grab a Watery Grave untapped for a Sleep Cursed Fairy. All right, so opponent is a Fairies deck. We draw Tormod's Crypt. It's so funny that I'm pretty sure play draw just determined this game. Had we been on the play, I think we win the game like going away. Unfortunately, we were not on the play. And now it's going to be much more difficult. Opponent trying to untap their Sleep Curse Fae. Gets rid of the last stun counter, untaps. Pass it. Well, okay, let's see what we draw. Bobble. Well, let's pay 1. Warp the Pinnacle Emissary. Play a Mishra's Bobble. All these 1/1s can block flyers, so I feel like the Pinnacle Emissary tokens should be pretty good against fairies. Do we let this go? We could counter it, but we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're actually going to let it go. And we're just going to play the Kappa Cannoneer while our opponent's tapped out. I feel like Cannoneer is so good that it's worth It is worth tapping everything for. All right, opponent. Can you beat the Cannoneer? Gets in, hits us. And Graveyard Trespasser. Okay. Gonna eat a Cannoneer. Well, let's draw some card draw. Ooh, another Cannoneer. Okay. Yeah, we play the Ornithopter. 3, 4, 5, 6. So play another Cannoneer. And opponent scoops it up. All right. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So opponent's just playing fairies? Huh. Sort of. Fairy-ish. Dimir Crim. If Crim was playing Modern, this is what he'd be playing. I don't know. I guess we just try to do our thing. Maybe we bring in a Dismember? Yeah, bring in a Dismember, run it like that. Good enough. Cool to see Cranioplating be a card again. Cranioplating had pretty much completely left Affinity style decks, but thanks to all the tokens you can make with Pinnacle Emissary, suddenly kind of good again. I wonder if this deck's real. Man, what was it, 2 years ago now? When Simulacrum Synthesizer first came out, it looked like Simulacrum Synthesizer. You pop off, you make all these constructs. Affinity for like a week or two was something people were really hyped about again. And then it turned out that Synthesizer was just not good enough. Too slow, too disruptible. Sure, you made a bunch of big constructs when you popped off, but it wasn't always enough to win the game. I wonder if Pinnacle Emissary, I imagine it's different just because of Warp. Like, the fact that you can do the Pinnacle Emissary thing on turn 1 compared to Synthesizer, it's 3 mana, and then you still need to play something else to actually turn it on. So I think the speed of Pinnacle Emissary probably means it's going to be good enough, but we will see. We'll see if it actually sticks, or if people are just testing out new things. I mean, we're going to keep this. It gets worse if we get Thought Seized on turn 1. We don't have a Pinnacle Emissary, but we can dump a bunch of stuff out of our hand. Well, play an island. Mishra's Bauble. Ornithopter. Play a Mox Opal. Lava Spur Boots. Do we cast Thoughtcast or do we pass? Let's Thoughtcast. I mean, we played a bunch of artifacts. They're not going to deal much damage very soon, but we did get a bunch of artifacts on the battlefield. The Urza Saga is probably going to do some work. Opponent. Well, this feels a lot better than game 1. We're off to a much faster start. Let's play Urza Saga. Kappa Cannoneer turn 2. Remember, this is turn 2. This is literally our second turn of the game. We have an Ornithopter, a Kappa Cannoneer that's a 5/5 ward for unblockable, 3 mana. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, the good, and this was not with a Pinnacle Emissary. This was just dumping the hands artifacts. Sweet. Play an island. Warp a Pinnacle. Oh, check this out. Warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Play a Mishra's Bauble. Make a 1/1. Play a Mox Opal. Make a 1/1. Thoughtcast off the Mox Opal. Come on, Moors. Oh my god. Play a Mox Opal. Make a 1/1. Keep the new Mox Opal. Thoughtcast. Actually, check this out. Mox Opal. Warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Holy crap, this is turn 1. 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 Tormod's Crypt. Turn 1. Turn 1. That is turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. That is the power of Pinnacle Emissary. That is a Horde of Drodes. Let's see what our opponent might be playing over there. Hopefully not something that can answer a Horde of Drodes. Preordained, sure. I mean, we got 7 1/1s. Opponent Forest and Amulet of Vigor. Okay, frightening. Opponent passes. Well, Steam Vents untapped. Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Thoughtcast. 4, 5, 6. Get down the Kappa Cannoneer. Hit you for 4. Pass the turret. Opponent down to 16. If we lose this, I'm going to be very upset, opponent. You never know with Amulet Titan, because if they combo off, they can just win. So we did for, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think we have lethal next turn. Unless our opponent does something this turn. Opponent. Splunking. What a ridiculous start. Breeding Pool. I think we got it. I think we got it. Because we can play 2 artifacts, which I think gives us Xaxes here. Wow, what a game. What a start. Holy mother. Opponent passes. We draw a Bauble. Well, we will 1, 2, 3. Pinnacle Emissary. Mishra's Bauble. I mean, complete the most obscene game. Yeah, I mean... well, that was one of the wildest games that I've played in a minute. I don't know if we win or lose. I don't even care if we win or lose this match. What a game. I mean, that was the game that shows what Pinnacle Emissary can do. Like, that's why there's so much hype about this card in Modern. Oh my god. Well, bring in the Blood Moons. Bring in the Blood Moons. That's what we got. Bring in the Blood Moons. Is Pithing Needle? Pithing Needle is probably better than Tormod's Crypt if we have the room. What do we cut? The Metallic Rebukes are okay. Consign to Memory doesn't stop Amulet. One thing I kind of wish is we had Artifact removal in the sideboard. I think that might be something that's worth looking into in the future. Just like being able to blow up an Amulet would actually be kind of helpful. We have to cut 2 more cards. Yeah, I don't think Lava Spur is going to be great this matchup. Let's go 1 Lava Spur and 1 Thought Monitor. Let's try it like that. It might work just as a cranial plating hand. We'll see. Amulet's really fast. I mean, drawing Pinnacle Emissary would be the best. Mishra's Bauble. Well, play the land. Play a Bauble. Play a Memnite. Play an Ornithopter. Stop on the upkeep. Take a peek. See what our opponent might be drawing. Explore. I mean, we encounter an Amulet, which is nice. Whew, that is huge. That is huge. Counter the Amulet. Metallic Rebuke, opponent bounce land. Little less scary without the Amulet, opponent passing. All right, what do we draw? We get two shots, Bauble. Ooh, another Rebuke. Well, play Urza's Saga. Ornithopter. We're gonna risk it. Cranioplating. Oh, we could have got in for 1. Oops. Meant to get in for 1. I got a little ahead of myself there. Opponent untaps. So shields down with the counter. It would be nice if we could dodge a second Amulet here. But this gets us a clock for next turn with the cranial plating. Or at least we have the option to have a clock next turn. We might make a construct. We'll see what happens here. Okay, Bajuka Bog's back. No Amulet. That's good news. And opponent passing. Okay, that's good. Well, take up the Saga. Play a Spire Bluff. Yeah, I think we just start attacking. Let's play the Bauble. This means no Saga token, but we get to get in for 6 this turn and leave up the Metallic Rebuke. Get you down to 14. Opponent, Crumbling Vestige. Vampire's Vengeance. Well, okay. And opponent preordains. Sure. Well, we're out of Metallic Rebukes. I think we're going to crack the Bauble here. It costs us a damage because it's 1 less artifact. But if it draws us into an artifact, we get that damage back. Plus, we could draw into another counter, or we could draw Scape Shift. Or we could draw Blood Moon, which would just be the best. Opponent says 2 perfect draws in a row ain't bad. That is true, I guess. Are we making a construct here? Yeah, I think we do. Let's make a construct. Springleaf Drum. Play a Mox. Thoughtcast. Play a Saga. And hit you for 8. All right. Well, we're presenting lethal for next turn, theoretically. Opponent's down to 6. Explores. Okay. That's not what we were afraid of. Bounce land, but no Amulet. Picks up the Vestige. Replays the Vestige. Oh, they're done. They're done. We got them. Hey, 2 perfect draws in a row. Actually ain't bad. Our opponent... they were not wrong. Well, game 1 was the absurd Pinnacle Emissary draw. Game 2, the Metallic Rebuke draw. We'll take it. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about Pinnacle Affinity in Modern? And overall, we went 4-2 with the deck. So we went 3-2 in our first league, but one of the matches, I had an issue with the recording, so I couldn't actually use it, so I had to record another match in a new league, and we won that one. So that puts us at 4-2 overall. So 3-2 in a league, 1-0 in the start of the second league. And I gotta say, this deck actually feels incredibly powerful. We'll have to see. We also got to see there be really good answers for this deck. So on one hand, we got to have some of the most ridiculous turn 1s. Like that one game where we had like 7 drones, I think, on turn 1 from our Pinnacle Emissaries. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And when we make a few drones and like turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer, start chaining Thought Monitors, the deck feels almost unbeatable. So with its best draws in the right matchups, this deck feels more than been good enough to be one of the best decks in Modern. On the other hand, we also got to see games where we like did our thing, made a bunch of drones, and then our opponent played a temporary lockdown and literally just answered our entire board and left us with like a single mana on the battlefield, like one land, and there was just no way we would possibly win. Also, like Meltdown can do that. So the risk is there's really strong answers to this as well. So I feel like this is an incredibly explosive deck that's really, really powerful, but it also has equally powerful answers, and it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. I am sure that Pinnacle Emissary is absolutely busted in Affinity. There is no doubt about that. Whether this makes Affinity back into like a real tier 1 deck, or if it's a tier 2 deck or a tier 3 deck, that much I'm not sure about yet, but the card itself is absolutely wild, and it really changes how the deck plays. It just makes it so incredibly explosive. So if you're a fan of artifact decks, you like Affinity, I think the Pinnacle Emissary might be the card that actually brings the archetype back in Modern. But anyway, that's Pinnacle Affinity. That is some of the craziest turn ones that I have ever had in Modern, and that's our Much Abrew for this week. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.